to someone who's made a tangible difference in a whole bunch of communities in Sri Lanka. And so, in studio right now, Selina Prem Kumar is here to tell us about her amazing story.
Yeah, and Selina, we understand that you had a dream of lifting smallholder dairy farmers out of poverty, and this is after a devastating civil war in Sri Lanka, which left thousands widowed, homeless, and without livelihoods. And with donations from Kiwis, advice from New Zealand farmers, support aid and development organisation Tearfund's partnership, and the New Zealand government, your dream has become a reality. So welcome to the show this morning. Kia ora. Great to have you today.
It's so great to be in a country that we see as an example and hope for a growing dairy sector in Sri Lanka.
Marvellous. So let's talk about the reason why you decided to embark on this endeavour, which has seen the lives of many people improved in Sri Lanka. So what led you to becoming the driving force behind Tearfund's farming and enterprise partner in Sri Lanka? And how did you get involved with Tearfund in the first place?
The Tearfund CEO right now, he was my first operations manager way back.
Wow. Wow. What are the chances of that? That's amazing. Okay.
We were working for international non-governmental organization called Vulcans, and a Christian organization in Sri Lanka after tsunami. And Ian was my first operations manager, and then he became the country director. And he encouraged me so much. You know, being in a country like Sri Lanka and being a triple minority in my country, survival for a woman is a fight.
What is a triple minority?
Yeah.
Explain that to those who are listening this morning.
Firstly, by ethnicity, I am from the minority community. We are from the northern Sri Lanka, Tamils.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, by religion, I'm a Christian. And that even shrinks me down to the minority. And the biggest challenge is in my culture, being a woman and being a leader or trying to even do something in a male-dominated culture, it's a pure fight for survival.
Well, let's talk about what that's like. So what's it like for a Christian who's a woman from a minority tribe in Sri Lanka? What are the biggest challenges?
First and foremost, even being respected and accepted in your community by your own people, and then going out of it by the majority people in the country. And the insults we go through, the challenges, and, you face a lot of victimization, just trying to do something and establish your identity or trying to do something for God. So when God called me to this sector, I was only 18 years. I didn't even understand why he's calling me.
Yeah.
But the only thing I did was I said, God, I don't know why you are calling me. What are you trying to do with my life? But I will only say in obedience, I am here and take me and use me. And in Sri Lanka, during my time in the north, I was born and educated there. We had a civil war by that time. So we all lived in fear of death, basically, or even having a bright day like today is a blessing for us. I don't know how many people wake up not knowing whether I am going to be alive today, whether my loved ones are going to be safe, and whether there is even hope for my life from this point onwards. Every day becomes like, just a question for many people. And being a Christian, you have double challenges because, already people have made up their minds. Okay, these people are not good to be or fit to be in our community. So it's a big challenge.
Well, then let's fast forward into what you have achieved, because I think that in light of what you just said makes it even more impressive, right? When we're talking about the income for dairy farmers in Sri Lanka, the figures that we have say that for many it was around $20 a month. And with your involvement now at 150, I mean, if you said to me, hey, I can come along and I can multiply your salary by what is that percentage-wise? 500%, something like that? Incredible. Tell us about how you've been able to achieve that.
It's all pure God's grace. So the farmers usually have a big challenge. It's sometimes difficult to understand. We have limited land, no grazing lands, and dairy is not a prime income for them. It is the secondary income because paddy farming is what they do.
Oh, so rice farming is the primary source of income.
Yes, rice. But when you are challenged producing rice, then you have to fall back to something else. And, we have cows, but when compared to the New Zealand cows and the land you have, and the amount of technology and the knowledge you have in dairying is something amazing. So we have the traditional farmers. So when we worked with the farmers, or rather when we walked into the war zone after during the resettlement of the people, we found only cows because the entire area was evacuated, or they have to flee for their lives.
So there were no paddy fields left, it was just cows.
It's just
and were they
cows.
like wild
Right.
cows just roaming around basically?
Just because when people ran for their lives, the cows
Wow.
ran into the jungles for their lives.
Wow. The Sri Lankan jungle cows. Now, that's not a thing I ever thought I'd know about. So now you've come to New Zealand then to like learn from New Zealand farmers as well. Tell us about what your plan is there, and maybe there's a way too that people can find out more and support this journey that you're on. What are you looking to learn from New Zealand while you're here?
Mainly there are a few things that I'm looking to learn from here. It's because attitude change is very much needed. The technology and the knowledge of know-how is very important for our farmers. And also to preserve their dignity, because they are looked down in our countries, because these are they are not actually consulted even when the government is fixing the farm gate price. And right now the government is creating a policy for dairy farming, or to sustain the milk production. 85% of the contributors to the milk chain are smallholders, but they have not even consulted them.
Wow.
So with about 15% commercial farmers, or even the other milk procurement bodies, they are trying to make a policy. So basically we lobby for the rights of the farmers. And also by increasing all these years, we have concentrated only in 3 areas: breeding, feeding, and animal health. And through that, we were able to increase the income as well as the milk production in the north.
Wow.
Now, you mentioned just off air that this has a direct impact. Dairy farming has a direct impact actually on women and children. So just quickly, as we kind of wrap up, what kind of impact, like how does that directly relate to women in Sri Lanka?
So smallholder farmers, mostly they have women at the every home. They looks after the cows, like 4 units, 4 cows or 2 cows. But the recognition is not given to them. When it comes for registration or for any trainings, only the men are sent, or they give their names out of respect, and because men is the head of household. But when we started with the men actually, training them and making them aware that the role of a wife is important. So the dignity and respect for women, we have to get it through men. But we also had a challenge. Women were not ready to accept that recognition.
Right.
Wow.
So we started saying, yes, your husband is the head of household. Nobody is challenging that. But make sure that you are the neck of the household. Right?
Yeah, the neck that moves the head. Well, this is incredible. So not only are you having an impact on dairy farming and enterprise in Sri Lanka, but actually changing the narrative for many people and the perceptions of roles in society as well.
Protection and discrimination are 2 big issues in Sri Lanka. Protection of women and children and discrimination. So abusers and awareness and how to even report, they don't know. So we concentrate out of the profit we get and the support we get from people like in New Zealand. We use that money to create awareness, and we have a national campaign. We run a hotline to report abuses, and we educate the children and women.
Incredible. Well, look, Selina, we're so grateful that you took a bit of time to tell us about just the impact that you're having, and I'm sure there's much more that you could share. So I know you have a speaking tour around the country and some meetings you're looking to have. So look, if you want to hear more of Selina's story, then head along to the Tearfund website, which of course is tearfund.org.nz. You'll find out where Selina will be speaking, and maybe you're a New Zealand farmer who could share a little bit of insight as well. Once again, head along to tearfund.org.nz to find out some more. But again, Selina Kumar, thank you for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having us. And also I would like to thank all the dairy farmers in New Zealand for contributing generously to Tearfund New Zealand, and also lifting us all in prayer.